Hey guys, it's Jessica. Today I'll be showing you some tips and tricks that will make using ArtRage Studio a whole lot easier. Most of the features I'll be showing you are fairly basic. There are also things that I know I've had to search up a few times in order to find out how they work. So I'll be showing you how to get a plain, non-textured canvas, what some of the buttons, brushes, and settings do, the basics of layers, the zoom function, and last but not least, how to mirror/flip horizontally. Alright, so when you first open ArtRage up, it will come with this blank canvas, and it usually has the bumpy texture. So to get rid of that, you're going to want to go into File, New Painting, then click Don't Save. And this screen will pop up, and here you can change the dimensions of your picture if you want to. I'm just going to leave it like what it is. Then you're going to click Canvas. Now here, there are different kinds of paper canvases, and to get rid of the bumpy texture, you're going to play around with roughness and grain size. So if you put them all the way to 0, you will get a nice, smooth, white background. Alright, so if you were writing something, here I'm just writing that the paper is smooth, and you made a mistake or you wanted to get rid of it without erasing, you can go to the arrows up around the top, and the one on the left goes backwards and the one on the right goes forward. Or you can simply click your eraser button and erase it. Right now I'm going to show you some basic settings of, I believe this is the gel pen or the ink pen, and this is the pen that I like to do most of my drawings with. Here I'm just sketching a curve, and this is kind of what I do to start off when I'm drawing something. So we're going to play around with some of the settings, and to do that you're going to click Settings and a menu will pop up. There are a bunch of settings and they kind of look like rainbow shapes, and you can just play with them and see what effects you get. So here I'm just showing you what kind of things you would get when you play with the settings, and it's like this for all of the brushes, so feel free to play around and experiment and see what kind of settings you like best. Alright, so over here is the layers button, and you are going to want to click it, and you will see here that we are on the first layer. To get a new layer, just click New, and you will see here the one that is highlighted in green, that is our new layer. So if you click back onto the original layer, I'm just going to draw something. I'm going to sketch an eye just so that you can see how I'm going to play with some of the layers. Alright, here I'm going to click on to the next layer, and I'm going to choose a color. For drawing eyes, I like to use the oil paintbrush because I think it gives a cool effect, and I'm just painting with a gradient of colors over top of my drawing. And because it is on a different layer, it will be easy to get rid of all the extra color that's going outside of the line. Now on the layer there's a little button with an eye, and if you click it, it will temporarily take away what is on that layer so that you can see what is below or above it. Alright, now the order of layers depends on what is going to be on top and what is going to be on the bottom. So as you can see, I dragged the new layer that we had made that was on top underneath our original layer, and the color will be underneath the sketch. Now that I have my color all filled in, I'm going to make a new layer, and I'm going to draw the pupil. And when you make a new layer for this, it just makes life a whole lot easier, because if you don't like the shape of your pupil, or you don't want it solid, or you want it gradient, or whatever you want to do with it, if you had drawn it on the same layer as your color or as the outlining sketch, erasing it would be a huge pain. And as you can see, rather than erasing something, if you didn't like the layer, you could just use the invisible button, or you could change the opacity, which is the little circle underneath. So one thing I find is when you're working with layers, sometimes they can get a bit confusing and you can lose track of which layer is which. So in order to prevent that, I like to name my layers. So for example, the little white dot would be named highlight, and so on and so forth. Alright, so now I'm going to focus a bit more on the details inside the eye, And to do that, it makes life a lot easier if you zoom in. And to do that, right at the top here, you're going to push the plus button and your picture will get bigger. And you could do the same idea, except making it smaller with pushing the minus button. And while you're zoomed in, you can just go around finishing all of the details, making sure everything's perfect. I'm kind of going to fast forward through this a bit. If you guys want to see how to draw eyes similar to this, I have a tutorial and it will be in the description box below. As someone new to ArtRage, the one thing I couldn't quite figure out myself was how to copy your image and flip it. So once you're done with your picture and you're ready to copy it, you're going to want to go into Tools and click Layer Options and merge down all layers. And by doing that, now all of your layers have become one single layer. After you've merged everything, click your layer and copy and paste. And to do that on a Mac, it's Command C and then Command V pastes. Now what you end up with are two of the same picture, only I want to flip one of the eyes. And to do that, all you have to do is right click and then this little option bar will come up and flip horizontally. And then you can just move your layer over to wherever you want it to be and you're done. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to ask and I'll try my best to answer them. If you guys want to leave any suggestions for what you guys want to see me do next, please do that. And